right, so we're gonna let this train go by first. But first thing I want to say is I asked him to do this video just so that we could make some content of the dialogue of us going back and forth. So I haven't watched this video yet. Um, this is gonna be almost like a reaction video. But I just want to go for authenticity, so that's the reason why. So get started right here. So ain't no telling, bro. I think we rolling. All right, are we rolling? What you rolling? I think we rolling. We rolling. We rolling. All right.
Okay. Well, I've had a lovely conversation with Terrence today, and Terrence asked me to kind of voice my thoughts more or less in a video about how this whole conversation kind of went, and so that's what I'm here to do for you today. So let me start off by pulling off my list and seeing where I kind of want to go with this, because I've kind of been thinking this out. I guess the best place to start is directions, because that was kind of the bulk majority of my argument, is that his kind of bulk majority of his argument to me, because originally what had happened is I have been in a situation in which I've had people constantly giving me their thoughts on my internship, and it boiled to a certain point, and I ultimately decided to just express my feelings to Terrence, and I told Terrence, look, I've only edited 4 projects, and I've only recorded 2 projects for you, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, but I want to get the most value out of this internship. And
okay, so before he moves on, let me just pop in and just say, this is my first time having an intern. So usually I'm used to doing things on my own. So when it came to like delegating or allocating work that I normally do, I have a little bit of attachment to like some of the work that I do. So I'm just used to just innately just doing it myself and getting it done rather than give it to someone else. I'm just used to it. So just want to throw it out there. All right.
I think we kind of went in this point where he kind of realized, I never got direction during my career, and so I kind of have to give him that force of reality too. And that's not going to work in a lot of scenarios, because that doesn't always work, right? And look at a modern internship, right? Regardless of whether it's a paid internship or a non-paid internship, an internship is about learning, right? So someone's going to give you some sort of direction to understand something, right? Whether that be very minimal direction or an extreme excessive amount of direction, there is a direction in general, right? Because you can't just go into a situation and say, hi, welcome to the team, good luck, and expect for them to, have any idea of how this all works, right? And I feel like that's been the struggle for me, is that he expects for me to know how to go out and solicit to people, even though originally I had never been in a position where I'm like, yes, I want to go solicit to people to say, hey, I'm going to go make content for you. Come hire me, because I can make content for you, right? If I wanted to do that, I could have gone and worked for another company that I applied for an internship for that literally wanted me to do door-to-door soliciting. And that wasn't my rodeo. I thought that was just horrible, and I wasn't going to do that because that's not my personality, right? I'm not the type of individual to be like, I'm going to be a door-to-door salesman and try to sell you on some type of pest control, right? And so ultimately, the thing that bugs me about Terrence is kind of like, figure it out on your own, because, hey, I had to figure it out on my own. And that's not how I'm wired. I'm wired very much to a plan. I've literally written up a very structured kind of plot. Let's literally just like bubble point, bubble point, bubble point, bubble point of what I want to talk about, because that's just who I am, right? When someone says, hey, go do this, I'm like, okay, I have to sit down and process. This is the thing I need. This is the thing I need, and this is how it all goes. I'm one of those people that'll sit in the App Store and just scroll through all of the productivity apps and just download a bunch of them, just to have fun with them, because that's who I am as a person. And I feel like Terrence is very much a Leroy Jenkins, if I'll use the meme as an example, because he's very much to just jump right in and go into the situation, or better yet, he's one to just jump out of an airplane and go with it, since he
I'm not sure who Leroy Jenkins is, but he sounds like a fun guy.
wants to skydive, and I'm going to use that example because I know Terrence just a little bit. And
Just a
I'm
little
not
bit.
that type of person. I'm the type of person that's like, okay, do I have a jetpack? Do I have a parachute pack? Check. Okay. Does it work? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Do I have the right straps in the right positions? Okay. Good. Are we at the right elevation? Okay. Good. I'm jumping out now. All right.
Yo.
Good. I'm going through all these steps. And that's a bit excessive, right? To an extent.
Okay, first off, that's not excessive, because if you're jumping out of a plane, then I'm not about to jump out of a plane if I'm not strapped up like with my jetpack, with my safety. I don't know. But okay, I get it for the point of the story. I get it. I am like that. So
And I understand that. But at the same time, going in with absolutely no plan can be sometimes very horrific, right? Just having some little type of plan in a lot of situations goes a long way, right? And so being able to give me some sort of direction where he's like, hey, I need you to go make this. I can work off of that, because then I can process in my brain, okay, what do I have to do to make this, right? If he says to me, I want you, here's a perfect example for you. He broke his camera, right? And he asked me to make some vlogs while I was in Florida, or some type of content in Florida for him to use, right? For us to use in general. So I said, okay. And that's how I came up with something. I came up and I said, I'm going to make a couple episodes of the Terrence show where Terrence basically, his show gets hijacked by me, and I get to give you my perspective on the show. I don't know when that's coming out. It should be coming out either before or after this. I have no.
Wait, hold on. I don't think I ever received that footage. Like, I know that you said that you recorded. I don't think I ever received it. So just throw it out there. I haven't seen that video.
Idea, but it's in the workings right now. I'm finishing up. It's rendering and all that kind of stuff. But
okay.
that whole thing, that was a perfect example of a moment that was so helpful for me, because he literally gave me the direction on where to go, and I did it. He literally just said, go make some content while you're there. That's all he needed to do. Those little tiny things, for me, make all the difference. And that's what I learned I have to communicate better to him, is like, hey, if you have an idea, just tell me to do something, and I'll figure out a way to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, is this the same video? Okay, so let me go to the next video, because he sent 3 videos. So that's the first one. And then here's number 2.
Because that's how my brain's wired, and that's how my systems run. And then, actually, let's check what's next on the list. So what's next on the list for me is the dreaded kind of misconception that I think Terrence has about me, and that's that I'm really in desperate need of money. And I think this is simply because he doesn't understand, and at the same point, I don't think I understand his perspective on any of this stuff. So I'm just simply saying this from my perspective, in hopes that he gets a better understanding from my perspective, so that way I can hopefully get a better understanding of his perspective, and we have a world here. But I am in a really kind of awkward situation, because I live in a household of 5, and I constantly have to meet certain expectations because I'm being compared to 2 other individuals, my siblings, of course. And so when my parents are like, oh, why isn't he paying you? Oh, he's probably manipulating you. Tom, this is a horrible idea. You shouldn't really be doing this. And constantly hearing that really doesn't help me. And I feel bad because I've been a real dick about it lately and have been kind of been saying, hey, what's the deal with this? How come we haven't heard anything from this person? How come, we haven't really gotten a whole lot of money here together? You're going to need money to build the studio. I've been a real dick about that, and I feel genuinely bad about that because that's just me getting reaction from other people giving me this feeling, right?
Yo, let me tell you something. That's really honest because I know when I was like, and I'm still doing it. Like, I brought my parents in here today, and I showed equipment with my dad. But when I was starting off, and I was working. Sometimes I'll be at R. Kelly's house. Sometimes I'll be at the studio over here. Sometimes I'll be working on this project over here. I did a lot of stuff for free, and my parents, my friends, everybody was like, "Dude, why are you doing that? Why are you doing?" Like, it was a lot of questions about it. Now, one thing I can say is when it comes to money, now this is an internship, so I went into the situation not really expecting to pay out anybody, just looking for some free help in hopes that they kind of like get the vibe of what I got going on here, and that I could duplicate myself, and then possibly we can get money together. But the goal initially was to really just see if I can get some help, just see if there was somebody else outside of myself that like it was really for me to open up and let other people into my world, because I like to close it off and just keep things to myself. And I know I don't want to do that forever. So um, I'm not trying to manipulate, but like this is new. I'm learning it, and learning, man.
Because I'm being so pressured into getting cash because the cash doesn't, it's not the value of the cash that means the most to me. It's more, I guess, the gratification to myself that, hey, mom, dad, look, I'm getting paid for something I did, right? It's the fact that, hey, I got $12, to go film something, right? That's something for my parents to see and be like, you know what? That's good. I appreciate that. Good job, Tom. And
It's
so
like a validation.
being in that kind of position for me has brought so much pressure on me that I put it out on him and I feel horrible for it. And so I think he has this kind of misconception that I'm in desperate need of cash or I'm too focused in life about cash. I try my
Okay, so let me just address that one. So the thing was is anytime we got together, not anytime we got together, but he always brought up money, and I expressed that this was an internship. So after a certain point, I was like, okay, I don't feel comfortable asking him to do certain tasks because I feel like he needs to be compensated. And it wasn't that I didn't want to compensate him, but it was just that I'm between taking phone calls, building a studio. I wasn't doing any client work, so there was nothing to really compensate him for. Because when he would edit things for the Terrence show, or when he would be editing things for clients that were already existing clients, I didn't go into those deals with the expectation to pay out a second person. Because, like I said, I've always done things for myself, by myself. So, even when I priced things out, I was pricing it on a one man type situation. On just it's and I could do bigger deals, but I need a bigger team to be able to execute bigger deals. So, that was the whole thing when it came to like just paying out. It's just that. I was just bringing them in deals that I already had currently open, um, and it's the internship. So, I don't want him to feel like I'm manipulating him. So that's why I say, I'm just if he really wants money, I'll wait till the money, the I wait till I close the money deal, and I include him in there. I pay him out then, but in the meantime, I just do it on my own until. So yeah.
best not to be because I kind of live this weird lifestyle where I waste so much money on stuff that I need, but I don't waste any money on stuff that I want. Like, I will waste buttloads of money on just food, water, and anything I need to survive, right? So food, water, and air. I will waste money on that any day of the week, and I spend so much money on that. But when it comes to, oh man, I would really like to have that microphone, or oh man, I really wish I had that camera. I never spend a dime. I save up like crazy, but I never get amount to anything because I need stuff to survive, like food and water, and I spend way too much money on it because I'm not smart with my money. But that's why, to me, I feel bad for him, but I also hope that he can somewhat understand my perspective of I'm not really caring too much about the money because all I'm going to do is spend it on, food. And so that's always going to be a continual issue.
Yo, anytime, and I just want to address that. Anytime like people say stuff like that, that almost, uh, like when he says like, that's why I'm not pressured about money because I'm just gonna spend it on food, and then you hear that cough come up. Um, that's a real thing, and I feel like when you say statements like that, I feel like certain statements affect your health, and I feel like when he said that statement, that's a real thing that a battle that he has, and like I have that battle, but I don't think you should say definitive statement. I don't know. It's just me. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think you should say definitive statements like this is what I will do with the money because you can do different things with the money. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you speak a different way, then that you wouldn't have that cough. Um, well, because I cough and I feel pain when I say certain things. Like I feel like words are connected to like your body and different pain that you feel like about. It's like it's kind of like if somebody hurts your feelings. You feel it like like there's an actual pain in a certain part of your body. Anyway, all right.
For me. And then what's next on the list, actually, because I think that was another topic. Ah, yes. Lovely. This one. The content conversation, because I think we have very differing views when it comes to content. He has this belief that content has to be 100% natural and genuine and just, back to a previous statement, bum rushed into, right? Or Leroy Jenkins, or jumping out of a plane just ready to go, right? Without any kind of planning or thinking to them. And to an extent, yes, that does work because you're really real and you're really genuine. But at the same time, you run the risk of it being absolutely boring. And that's why a lot of social media stars and a lot of content creators today use little tiny things to help guide their plot, right? So when you see those clickbait thumbnails from people, it's because, hey, it entices you to come in there to see some plot that has to do something about that. That's what you're being enticed by with those clickbait thumbnails. If you look at Roman Atwood, right? Roman Atwood tries his best for every single one of his vlogs, and he did this every single day for a very long period of time to find something to do that entices the audience, right? Something wild, something crazy, something very Roman Atwood. He would try to do it. Jesse Wellens puts on these beautifully elegant shows where it's literally just him and this high production, I'm using green screens here and there. I'm trying to convey, look at this lookbook that I made, or, look at this vlog that I made, and they're unbelievable. Hell, you can even look at the ADHD-prone individuals of Jake Paul and Logan Paul, right? Those two individuals live a scripted reality vlog. It's literally them figuring out stuff that they can do and even creating drama out of certain situations. And they're so successful because people get so enticed with that stuff, right? And right now, Terrence kind of is just like, let's go film, because that's how my brain's wired and that's how my systems run. And then Actually, let's check what's next on the list.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. So we starting over from the top. Hold on.
So
Let's pause this. So there's another video. It's the last video right here.
let's see what happens. And that's going to be good. That will be so successful for you. If you have a stable fan base and you're trying to grow, it's successful. But if you're starting at nothing and you're trying to get up there and you're just saying, I'm going to film just to film.
Okay. All right. So check this out. So the reason why I say that is because I feel like we have two different viewpoints on the end goal of these videos. So, and it's not that I'm against scripted reality. I'm totally with it. But I just think that when it just comes to just like let's just get the ball rolling, and I'm like, hey, look, let's film video every day, every day, every day, every day, video, every day, video, every day. So I'm like, let's just get the ball rolling, meaning like let's just start working together. You know what I mean? So I say it's instead of just sitting down trying to plan the perfect thing, let's just film, come up with ideas along the way, and eventually we'll start scripting things once we kind of figure out what we got. But let's just start. It's almost like it's almost I look at just filming like when I say just film, to me that's like the brainstorming process, meaning that boom, the camera's rolling. All right, this is what we're doing. I mean, okay, I get it. We can set a little foundation, but I was just saying, just make a day in the life, meaning like turn the camera on, keep it rolling. I'm gonna be doing stuff around the studio, whether it's me hanging up lights, whether I'm out and I go meet with somebody. Like the thing is, I feel like in life, as long as you're walking through life and you're just moving through life. You're gonna meet people. You're just gonna like things are gonna happen. Like there's a story when you do things. Like it just happens. It's just a story. Like there's gonna be a climax to every day. Even if you stay in the same spot, what's gonna happen is you're gonna wake up. You're gonna do something. Something's gonna happen. Like even if you do stay in the same spot, at some point you stay in the same spot. You just stand right here. Eventually, this is either gonna become hard. Your legs gonna hurt. You make a story out of I'm standing in the same spot. My legs hurt. My legs hurt. And then finally, when you're able to move out that spot at the end of the day, go to sleep. That's the end of the story. But you can even dramatize that. So that's why I'm just like, yo, just pull the camera out and start filming. Because I feel like a bunch of nothing, a bunch of nothing is better than nothing. Because you can always make something out of nothing, but you can't make nothing out of nothing. So just do something. That's just my philosophy. I don't feel like you have to have everything planned out. When I came into the studio, I didn't have everything planned out. I didn't even plan to come in here. They hit me up, and there was a table in here, and that was it. And what did I do? I made one, not one desk, but two desks and a bench and some more benches, and then boom, now I'm talking to you on the same bench, and you just use what you have to create something. So I don't know, that's the way that I think. I'm not here trying to get the most views. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to document my story, our story. Now I'm trying to document that because I feel like that's more important than you know us, writing down and trying to write this best script. I mean, we can do that and we will do that. But I just feel like to get the ball rolling, like let's just do this. Let's just turn the camera on and start filming. Like I feel like I have enough to talk about. I feel like I do enough in a day to where we can get some content. So like let's not stress about the planning. That's just me though.
It's not going to work because, a perfect example of this is we had this 35-minute section of our phone call that he recorded and that he wants to use. And to me, to an extent, I don't think that would be good content. Like, I'm going to let him use it, of course, because he's my boss and I respect him and I think he's a wonderful person for you.
Okay, look, I mean, I just the boss word, I'm your boss. I mean, here's the thing, yo. I feel like I give guidance. I feel like you're your own person. You have your own ideas. I don't have to boss you around. You do your own thing. Um, and if you don't want me to use it, I don't have to use it. It's not that serious. I would like to use it to create the story, but I don't have to use it. I don't want to. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing anything in this situation. Like nothing's being forced. Like you're not being like it's cool,
considering
man.
to hire me, and I'm going to let him, of course, use it. But I don't see how somebody would be interested in listening to our conversation because there's nothing really interesting about it, right? Now, if we were talking about, whether, I think
Y'all don't
that
think this
LeBron
interesting?
James going to LA was the smart move or the dumb move, man, that's interesting. People.
Yo, and this is the thing. I feel like this is more interesting than LeBron James going to LA. Like it's like I always feel like my life is more interesting than anybody else's life because like it's me. I gotta walk in this body and see this body every single day. So I don't know. Whatever. Come
Are
on.
interested in that because that's what's in the news right now. That's what's important right now. But a conversation in which people are talking about direction, I don't see how that can be successful, right?
I'll watch stuff like this.
But he'll go put it out. And if he gets 100,000 views or 1,000 views or anything like that, good for him. He was right, and I will admit I'm wrong.
Okay, yo, there's no right and no wrong. There's no right, no, and I don't want to just sit here and like depict like everything you say because I don't. I like it's just me. I don't feel like there's a right and a wrong. It's just thoughts. It's just ideas. It's just like everything is everything.
But if it doesn't get a whole lot of views, if it gets like 20 views,
And it might get 20 views.
well, then he's shit out of luck. I guess I'm right in that situation.
And here's the thing: is that I don't care how many views it gets. I just want it documented. I don't care. Like the views is it's just views, yo.
And I don't want to be right. I would much rather be proved wrong, right? Because, I'd much rather be proven wrong because that means I have somewhere to improve. That's why I love that. But I have this very strong sense that the more content you create that's just not completely thought out, just make content to make content, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't think that. And that's just differing views, right? Because, like I said previously, or if I didn't say this previously, it was probably in like my previous take where I screwed up. But you have new age content. That's Terrence. Terrence is a very new age form of things. The startup company, the lifestyle of hey, we're just going to go produce content and have fun, and we're going to build the best kind of brand possible, right? I'm very old school. I'm like, hey, I'm here to film because number one, I want to create content, which is the same between both of us. But I want to create content that has a narrative, that has a story to it, that can be put on a big screen,
I love that
or
concept.
can be aired on ABC every Sunday night, right? Because that's just the style of life that I live, right?
Straight up.
I want to have everything be fiction, everything be that kind of true and interesting story. And so overall, it kind of boiled up to this whole debate that we had today. And I think it was good for both of us because, on one hand, I got to understand a lot about him, but on the other hand, he got to understand a lot about me. And I was so fearful when writing this text message because I'm very much a person that I'm afraid, I might come off as a jackass or a douchebag. And I was so nervous about that. And then I saw his Instagram stories. I'm like, oh, God damn it. I screwed up again.
Yo, and let me just tell you, first off, I didn't know he was following me on Instagram stories. I thought I was just, I was just getting my voice off on my stories, and nobody was really like checking for it like that. But the thing is what's crazy is that I feel the same way about text messages when I send that to people because I can come off the same way, and the one thing that I really appreciated him for doing is coming at me that way, like not sugarcoating it, just coming at me just like straight shot. Like I like that because I need people to keep it real with me, and that's the only way I feel like we can have real, meaningful conversations that actually get us over the hump. Because you gotta you gotta put all your cards out on the table in order for we all need to see what we are working with. So Man, yo, I appreciate that, yo. Like that's bravery, yo, and I appreciate that, yo.
I screwed up.
Keep
This
that
is
same
done.
energy.
I'm gonna have to tell my parents I got fired. It's gonna be a whole mess. And he was very open with me. He was like, you just look, man. There's things that we both have to fix here, you know, and I appreciate that because I understand that there's a lot that I have to fix. I am probably my biggest critic. I put myself down a lot more than I should, and that's just who I am as an individual. But for someone to be like, yeah, we both have stuff to fix, I can commend that. And that's why I have respect for Terrence, and I always will, because he's able to sit down and see a situation in which I'm slightly stressed because I have pressures being placed upon me, and I'm trying to look for something from him, and he can learn from it, and I can learn from it, and we can both benefit from each other. And so overall, I was very happy with the way that our conversation more or less ended, and I am going to be working a lot tomorrow because it's 10:30 right now, and I'm gonna probably go take a shower, go to bed because I'm tired as hell, and I'm gonna go work a lot tomorrow and wake up Monday and start hopefully working with him, and hopefully we'll be able to get past our differences
Yo,
in
that's in the
styles
past.
of
Past and
production and
past.
how we do certain things to reach a commonality and a conclusion. So yeah, this is my perspective on the great debate that I had with Terrence,
Thank you,
and
Tom.
hopefully, you guys enjoyed being able to see my perspective on things, and hopefully Terrence will be able to, let you guys see his perspective because I think he probably has a very good perspective. Maybe it's something that I don't necessarily see and agree with, but he has a good perspective.
Yo, I think just when it comes to creative people, we we all have our perspective on it, and it's never a right or a wrong perspective. It's just that I see it this way, you see it that way. Um, we all have different experiences. When you go home, you have a whole world that you're in. When I go home, I have a whole world that I'm in. When I close my eyes, I have a whole world, whole movie plan. And I see when you close your eyes, you got a whole movie plan that you see. So it's um, we may never ever see eye to eye on anything, but I feel like if we can just accept our differences and not compare it, just accept it. Like, okay, you just see it one way, I see it one way. Um, anything can work.
But yeah,
Appreciate that, Tom.
let's see what happens. And that's going to
All right, see how we can stop this, baby. Stop.